Can I talk to you? Have you ever remember all the people that loved you, showed you love, made sure you was first, and you pretty much didn't just pay them no mind? And the people that treat you like trash, you try to work with them. It don't make no sense, huh? I don't want a house no more with anger and hollering and screaming and you never enough when I picked you every time and you're enough for me, you know? I'm rethinking stuff and I'm remembering things that people have taught me. I was in love with my husband and I was having someone else's baby when I met him. And he picked me, right? That man loved me so much. If I go somewhere, he was there. He would walk there. One time he walked somewhere, it took him, he walked from across the river to Marrero. So that is like, it took him damn near a whole day to get there, walking to get to me. He loved me so much, he would sleep under my window. When he got kicked out, he didn't care because he was in love with me. So I felt love, you know? Like, I didn't have to say I need something. He already knew I needed it. I had it. And I understand people do get jealous of that if they don't have it. Their family get jealous of that because you are now his focus. And the worst decision I decided for me and my husband, which was my boyfriend at the time, he wanted to marry me at 15. My mom said she's not ready. She said when you get a career or then you can have her. But while you broke, she's not going to struggle with you. That's what my mom said. Like if I go on a date and she had my baby, that was $100 regardless. So and then if the guy came in, she already got her order ready. Okay? She kicked. She was funny. That's my mom. My godmother say you too pretty to have people in your face, a man in your face just laughing and stuff, and y'all both broke. If they want your attention, make them pay for it. And I had like good advice and bad advice, and I'm rethinking a lot of stuff, especially my granny. Now, I used to believe my granny hated me because I was dark-skinned. She would pinch me, but she wouldn't pinch the other children. She would buy for her bright grandchildren and my sister, and she would not buy me nothing because I was dark like my mom. My mom is 8, I think 7 children, and most of us boys. She was the only girl. So my granny was something must have happened to her because she'd be like, when we used to come in, nobody didn't touch your monkey, your pocketbook, huh? You know, you'd be looking. So we had to deal with that with my granny. But I understand now why she did that. She used to tell me, trust no man, trust yourself, be your best friend, be good to you. And I used to be looking at her like, I want friends, my granny. When the lady told me, you in love? Nah, that's not going to work. She said, you want a business partner and then love later. And then it's going to be magical. And I was like, I want love. Girl, love don't pay no bills. What did you talk about? You're going to either have money or credit. What you going to do? And she used to talk to me. It was a teacher. She was my tutor. And she would be like, She'll be coming in the door. She'll see him. She'll go, And she said, come on, let's go in the kitchen. And guess what? He right by the door. My husband loved me. I felt love. the next time I felt love was from a female, beautiful woman. Her name was Phaedra. I looked out over her because I really didn't give her a chance. I didn't want to be gay, okay? But she was my friend. She was there. And she took it slow and easy. And when she kissed me, she asked me, and I said, like, oh, okay. And then when she kissed me, she said, what did you think? I said, it was like kissing my baby dad. I didn't know what you say to that. So when she broke out with me and hurt my heart, when she had me all to herself, my husband left. Well, he didn't leave. Something happened to him. He no longer walking the earth. And then the baby daddy, I moved away. And when she had me to herself, and I moved back to New Orleans to be close to her, she decided to tell me, remember that day when we first kissed and you said it felt like just kissing your baby daddy? I was just waiting for you to fall in love with me so I could tell you it's over. And I was like, wait, what? You know? She was a Scorpio. I drove all the way to her house, and it was like, her house from my house was like over an hour, right? If you do a ferry, it's a whole situation. And I drove down, and I was watching her wash dishes, and my kids in the car crying. They ready to go. They want to go eat at McDonald's. I promised them. And I said, look, just chill out. And I'm watching her through the window, and I was so hurt. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You felt love before. If they pick you second, they picked you last. That's what my granny said. Premium comment from heaven. So I'll be like, I understand. I waited till I got grown. I think more. I asked God to restore my mind. I got stumped in the ground with some steel-toe boots because I was with somebody else, and my person was coming to my house with somebody else, and was angry with me because I was replacing them. So they stomped me in the head. I didn't even think nothing was wrong with me. I went to the doctor. It was like, oh, they checked me out, did x-rays. Oh, you had a little concussion, this and that, whatever. I'm thinking I'm good. It was still, I had to fill out some papers for my son. The numbers looked at backwards or different. The wording didn't just right. I couldn't text no more, and I was freaking out, and I called my good friend. And she said, we're going to get checked. Don't worry about it. You good. You safe, you know. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what, you know? She say, helpful. What she called me the B word. And then she called me helpful. Because I call her helpful. She said, we're gonna find out how we can work around this situation. And nobody don't have to know unless you tell them. Some days I have good days. I could write. I'm inspirational. I could put my words together. And then some days I can't even text like a sentence. 2 words or emoji. Everything looked backwards. I paid my bills. It was hard. It was like the numbers wasn't looking right. It got to the point where I had to click the phone and let it repeat it and make it, so I could hear it. I would have to get my children, do this look right? You pay bills more than what it was, underpaid. It was just, the number was like a phone number. They say such and such, such and such, such as you get $1 billion, you want it. If you want it, if you could just remember the number I just spurred, and you be like, okay. Just because I'm broken, that don't mean I can't heal myself. I took 10 years off to learn me, my dislikes, my likes, that I'll tolerate my boundaries. What I tell them about my disability, and people make money off it. Or you let them see a strong black woman that's handling herself. I was taken care of from 13 all the way up to when I made 49, and when my best friend died, and then my daddy died, and then people started dying around me, and I was tripping, and this young lady said, "You at the age where people is going to be leaving, and I regret this age too." And I was like, people don't live forever. You're not gonna live forever. And I was like, well, why? What is you questioning God for when you know you are here to live? Make the best of what you have. Be more humble, less cocky. Lose that narcissistic behavior that you was taught. Work on you. And it was like, I was hearing these words, and I was like, restore me, God, I joined church. The day I was called, I was listening to, it was weird. I was listening to some gospel. I'm not talking about how did it happen. I'm going to tell you that one day. But when I heard his voice, and he was telling me what I need to do, and I was scared. I thought I was tripping. It was like, how you be like, the pastor be like, well, God told me such and such. And I used to be like, that's just self-conscious, or that's really, like, I used to be tripping, So, because I'm Church of God in Christ. So, I'm like, or is it, someone really there for you? So, when it was my fiance, she had passed, and that's when God, and I accepted him back in my life. I always been a Christian, because they say you're always a Christian once you accept him and acknowledge, the whole thing is only 10 commandments, not 20, 30, 40, which you came up with. But that I heard him, and I didn't feel alone no more. I grieved over my husband over 10 years. 10 years, I don't even remember. 10 years, I was so heavily medicated that when I finally woke up, because I missed my apartment, the colors looked different. I was fat. I was like, wait, what? Like, tripping, like, on me, Because the way they had me, like, I was grieving so hard that they had me zombie-like. So when my children say that I really wasn't a good mother, I say to them, I couldn't help it. I couldn't. And so when I found out that I was misdiagnosed, because at first they said I was bipolar. I wasn't having manic episodes. I always was happy. So I didn't fit that. So the doctor said, listening to you all this long time, I'm just realizing that you've been misdiagnosed. You only have PTSD. And you have anxiety. That's it. And a sleep disorder. So, and I developed that when my husband died. I was no longer able to sleep. I would stay up 4 days. That's the longest I ever stayed up, and it's like my brain is like scrambled. Everything is scrambled around. Like you just went in my head, it went sure, 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 So I have to sleep. Sleep is very important. Why is I'm saying all this? I want you to accept you. I'm shy in person. I'm not shy on the internet, but I'm shy in person. Nah, I don't take my advice now. But I actually help people get out of being shy. How I started was just talking to myself in the mirror like a diary. I'll get in the mirror and say, "Hi, diary. Today we're going to have a wonderful day. You got to do this, 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 and this, and this." And this will help me remember. And I saw how my facial expression was, and I was seeing what people were seeing. And I have one on face when I be like, "Oh, girl, you okay?" Like, I'm like, but I try to control my face. I learned how to smile. And I just took time for me. I didn't mutter it up with a relationship because when I thought about when my brother told my mom 12-step program helped him, and when my mom said, "No, I prayed for you," and he said, "No, the 12-step program," and I'm like, my mama, that prayer, man, she have a gift. I didn't let her pray for me like, I didn't let her pray for me when, she would know everything. Yeah, I just saw the guy that, my roommate, and he just passed my house. Hold on. He got these videos of threatening this lady that he loved. And I understand you loving somebody and being in love by yourself. I'm to the point where I'm just neutral right now. But he needs some help versus being in jail. He need help that I can't help him with. So I told him to get that pium pium out of my house. But he just passed, so I'm about to call the people. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.